What's up, everybody, and welcome to ReelTime for the Real Everyday Movie Fan. I am Josh Williams, and tonight I am giving you my real-time TV recap of Walking Dead Season 8, Episode 3. Now, hey, I'm wearing the same shirt as I was in the first recap of Episode 1 and 2. Weird. I recapped that before this episode aired, so that aired tonight. I'm recording this right now. I just got done watching the episode. And I was hoping I was going to get it up before that episode started. Didn't happen, but that's all right. I decided I'm just going to do it all in one night and hopefully get it out the way. You're probably going to be watching this, I'm guessing, on Monday because it's late in the night. I got to get home. I got to get up to work in the morning. But anyway, let's not worry about that. Let's cue that trailer.
Make no mistake, our first victory will allow our second. Our second will deliver our third.
My people, they're coming. And we'll get you to Negan. Oh, we won't.
You know how dangerous this is, who these people are.
We have come this far, all of us still here. We will lose not one of our ranks.
All right, folks, I kind of want to just give you a little preview that they always do at the end of every single episode, kind of see where we're at. So now let's go ahead and dive right into this episode, and man, there was a lot to cover. And one of the things I want to start off the bat was, up until the very end, of course, I really loved the tactics and how smart King Ezekiel and Carol's group was, just taking out the Saviors with ease, like setting up traps for them, especially in the woods, or like when they were running by and all of a sudden just popping up and just mowing them down. I thought that, again, showed, like I talked about in the first episode for a recap, that is showing how much more smarter they're becoming from the Saviors, where before they didn't know exactly how to handle the Saviors because they were kind of unknown. Now they're getting used to them. They're able to, counter against them and fight back. Whereas before, like I just said a second ago, they didn't know necessarily how to deal with them because they were kind of an unknown, so they were kind of fearful of them too at the same time. Maybe not so Carol, but definitely everyone as a whole didn't know how to handle them, but now they do, and it shows really well. One of the things I'll get into, I guess, right off the bat, I called it. Morales died. I'll get into that one here in a little bit, and then sadly, Eric died, Aaron's boyfriend, and I'll talk about that real quick. I know I'm kind of jumbling around in the episode, but I just want to get into some of the things I really liked, which even across the board, the performances in this episode were spectacular, especially when Aaron sees Eric walk off the way he did as a walker. I mean, just that you felt that sense of loss that he just broke him completely, and I knew it's gonna hopefully lead to something better for him in the future. I know it may sound bad, but I'm hoping it's gonna lead to something more kind of explore Aaron's character more and make him a stronger character, even more than he already was, like I said before. But I really loved, just like I said, the stellar performances across the board. That dialogue between Morales and Rick was awesome. I mean, they answered a lot of the questions I wanted them to answer. Not necessarily, they didn't go in depth like I hoped would happen to his family, but then again, I guess for a person, you don't really want to go into that kind of subject matter with someone, even someone as Rick. But I did like how he kind of kept saying those old phrases you say to him, like you're running and gunning, you go in there, guns a-blazing, like you did in the first episode, or just some of the other things. But I did like how it showed with Morales that even though he knew Glenn and he knew Glenn and all them other people, it didn't really faze him for some reason, because so much has happened since those first few days that Morales was with the group until he veered off and went to Alabama. And I liked how it kind of shows that no matter if you knew someone before or not, this world can change you, and maybe you can't even come back from it. And I think I love that they brought Morales back to kind of add to that theme that, yeah, they knew each other before, but they're not the same people. And I really love this, kind of will segue into the other thing I love. I love the theme of other people's perspective on who they are morally and who other people think the others are. Like Morales, when he's like, he actually legit thinks they're the good guys and Rick's the monster. Like, Morales seriously thinks that. But even though we know the Saviors are actually the bad people, because even if you go back and think, Rick just started killing them before Negan got a hold of them, the Saviors were also treating the Hilltop and Alexandria really shitty and it maybe not Alexander, sorry, but the Hilltop, even like they were treating these groups of people really shitty, and now they're starting to pay the consequences. So you obviously yeah, they're bad people, but it's the fact that some of these saviors really think they're on the good side, which is very, very fascinating. And that also goes with the same with Morgan. Like, he kind of has that moral ideology, which is valid, even though I don't necessarily agree with it, that, you know, they're them. They're killing people. You know, they're going to become them. That's what he seriously thinks, and I can see the point, which is also segues into Jesus, where, like, he's trying to keep that moral compass where, like, you know, we can be better than them. We don't have to kill them and stuff like that, which, I mean, that is also true, too. So it also kind of depends on that fork in the road of what way they're truly going to take. And I like the fact that Rick is even doing that as well. He was literally going to let Minkus, I call him Minkus because he's from Boy Meets World, but he was going to let Minkus live. But then Daryl, who's also taken that kind of weird turn of, like, relentless, not even give him a chance, but also going rogue in a weird way of not, you know, sticking with what Rick says, and just shot him. Just, you know, Rick was like, I gave you my word, I'm going to let you live. And then he just shoots him. And even then, and that comes to that death with Morales, I did not expect that. I figured there'd be a little more dialogue and there's going to be like a big tussle between them, and Rick was going to have to kill him. That I almost would have liked that a little more, but at the same time, it was pretty shocking just for, like, you know, Morales to turn around. And Daryl did not even blink an eye, even though he knew him. Just boom, shot to the head, dead. That was a little shocking to me. I would have wished that it had a little more gravity to that death, and a little more dramatic effect to that death. But, you know, that's just a minor problem. And still, it was a very big shock just to see. But then again, that also shows the tone in which Daryl is changing. So, and that's a very, very interesting thing to think about. And one of the other great things was the Jesus and Morgan fight. Wow. I like the fact that they show this because we've seen how badass Morgan is just with that staff. But then again, he is a little more enraged. He's not really focused as he was before when he's, like, you know, using the stick the way he does, the staff the way he does. But it just goes to show how much of a badass Jesus is in hand-to-hand combat. I mean, he was almost with ease just keeping Morgan at bay and not, you know, completely beating his ass. That just shows how much of a badass Jesus was, and I like the fact that they're showing that a little bit more. And the last thing I didn't like, which, I mean, it's whatever. It's just the Hilltop leader. I already forgot his name. The piece of shit dude. I'll put a little clip of him right here. But this guy. If you let me know his name, actually Gregory. There we go. I just thought of it. Gregory, piece of shit. He's a snake. He's a weasel. I mean, he said anything to survive. He lied about leaving Gabriel where he was. And just, you could just see that he will do anything to survive. Even he'll stab anyone and everyone in the back. And I hate that. They just need to, I wish right there Maggie would have just shot him. Just get it over with. This guy is the hugest piece of shit. And I have a feeling this is going to backfire on Maggie. That's one of my predictions in the future. Obviously, it's probably going to happen to keep the drama up. But this is seriously going to backfire on Maggie. And I don't know what's going to happen. I know letting him in there was a bad, bad idea. But besides that, I think that's really all I had. I really love this episode. The action was great. The dramatic chops with all the actors was fantastic. And I love that they kept the story going really well with the characters, but also keeping up the action really well. I thought that was handled near perfectly. I'm glad to see that the show's ratings aren't as great as they usually are, but I think this season is definitely better than the previous seasons. Not just because of the action, but just the storytelling as well, and how smart the writing is. It's gotten so much better with this season than the prior season, which was good, but it was still a little iffy. This one is just the pacing is really well, and I cannot wait to see what we got moving forward. So my next my predictions moving forward. I saw the little clip they have going forward. Carol's not going to die. She's going to find a way to get out of what she did. But man, Ezekiel's not going to die either. But that's going to be a lot of casualties on there because you saw at the end of the episode where they start getting mowed down from a 50 cal. And other predictions I have going forward, I think this next episode we're going to hopefully just explore more with Michonne, I hope, and Rosita. We're not seeing enough of them, but I know they're going to be going on some kind of mission. I hope they start bringing them more into the fold. And oh yeah, I don't know why I just thought of this. I'm glad they got the baby out of there. At first, when they all left and handled all the other saviors, I was like, they're gonna leave the baby in there. I was hoping and then they finally brought it out. So I was glad to see that, and I hope that Aaron's gonna take it to the Hilltop safely. He's really torn right now as far as what happened with Eric. But I know he wouldn't harm the baby, but I just hope everything goes well with that. With that, taking the baby to the Hilltop. And I'm gonna give this rating. Usually we do them at the beginning. I don't know why I keep forgetting, but I'm gonna give this one again a 9 out of 10. This was a great episode, and they didn't do the 90s action. I did action. Not reloading. I saw quite a few reloads in this episode. And I can't wait to see what we got going moving forward. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What are some of your predictions? Give me your score out of 10 as far as this episode is concerned. And give me some of your likes and dislikes. What you liked within this episode and what you think is going to happen moving forward. But that'll do it for me, folks. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate all the time you spend watching our videos and subscribing and engaging with us. I hope we can continue this discussion moving forward. You guys, all you fans mean so much to me. Without you guys watching this, I wouldn't, I don't know if this channel would still be running. And I'm just hoping we can continue to grow this discussion even more, not just with the Walking Dead TV recap, but every other show we have, every other recaps and reviews and reactions. I hope you can go through and like our content and let us know what you think. Also, if you like what you watched, then hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you can receive, like I said, more of our content in the future. And also, like our Facebook page, follow us on Twitter. They're in the description below. I'm out of here. I'm Josh Williams, and thank you for keeping it real with ReelTime.